Good morning and welcome to Ray's Breakfast. It's another beautiful Tuesday and you already know we're serving up fresh conversations, hot takes, and just the right sprinkle of perspective to start your day right. My name is Oluchi Omenka and joining me as always are my brilliant co-anchors Goodness Idehe and Triumph Akimboye. Together we're diving into one of those age-old debates that somehow never goes cold, monogamy versus polygamy. The Nigerian debate rekindled by Nwoko. Now, don't worry, we're not here to start a gender war before breakfast. But when a public figure boldly says he feels sorry for men with only one wife, you know it's bound to raise a few eyebrows and a few questions. So today, we're unpacking it all, the culture, the faith, the emotions, and the modern realities behind these choices. So stay with us. It's going to be insightful, honest, and maybe a little spicy too. Let's get to meet my ladies this beautiful Tuesday morning. Good morning, girls.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Goodness, you're looking really sharp this morning.
I am so happy to see the both of you. You know, you're looking really beautiful.
So
the hair.
Because she wants to make her hair as well.
And I can see that we are even twinning on the table.
Yes, we are.
We could just continue this show with the both of you.
Honestly, I'm so excited.
Well, you could actually step down, you know.
Who should step down?
She said we could continue the show together now.
Stop. Anyways, I hope you're
So I want to throw this question to you because Chema and I on the table yesterday did speak about it. So I want to hear your own perspective to it. So I saw it on Zikoko Mag. It's a question that was, I mean, it really did raise a number of comments in that sense. So the question is, would you, if you had a bad fallout with a very good friend of yours, right, and you hear that the person has lost someone close to them, would you still reach out? Remember, the key word is bad fallout. Would you still reach out?
I would still reach out.
Yes, no.
I will.
I have good girls on this table.
No, what's the definition of the bad fallout?
Bad fallout.
Give
those
like
kind
an
of
example.
fallout
Give like
where
an
you block each other.
It could be a big betrayal.
Big betrayal.
I would
Maybe
still
to your
reach
husband.
out.
Maybe your husband, maybe they did something to you at work. Something really bad. And they lose someone close to them, like a child, or maybe a fiancé, a husband, a parent. You'd reach out to them.
Yes,
Let me first say that I've not really had like a bad fallout, but there is one that happened to me this year. And that's one. For example, if I want to reach out to her now, even if something is happening, maybe she lost her mom because we are that close, but we had a very terrible fallout. Not terrible fallout, but the way people perceive situations, like they're different. It might happen between the both of us. You might not take it that way, but by the time it got to her, it was something else already. I think I did not go for the wedding, and then she blocked me.
Interesting.
Everywhere. So, and this is somebody that I have been with like since I was little. Since I was little, she was literally one of the
You grew up
people-
together.
We grew up together. Beyond, you don't even know what or how or what happened. Why did I not show up or something? Well, because
So
I told you that
in
I could
summary,
not show up.
you can still reach out to such a
I
person.
can, but there's no how because I've been blocked.
So the case is not that you do not want to. It's
I
if there's
can reach out
access.
to our family.
If there's
members.
access, you could. Goodness, you would as well.
I would. I might not have called her, but I think I will have sent him.
You needed to have seen the comment section.
Your
People
mother
were
said that
saying,
she's not interested.
they say, I do not care what happened to you or your entire life. We're done, we're
I still
done.
have that soft part of me. That
You that we
but
know
people
goodness.
go through a lot. The bad fallout might just be very, very bad.
And sometimes I was telling Choma yesterday that, situations like that could help cause a rebound because grief helps people come together. Well, that's it. Like I said yesterday as well, I want to know your view on this particular take because it has been making me think, honestly. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're scanning the papers this morning. We have exciting news on the Nigerian newspapers. So please stay with us. We'll be right back soon. All right, welcome back. Remember, you are the main ingredient in all of our conversations, and we'd love to hear your thought on all of our conversations, from the headline reviews into the hot topic. Our phone lines are open. Please call us on 0702-500-7749 or 0701-424-2420. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, This is October. By this time, you should be a major fan of that YouTube channel. Go now to the official Upgrade TV. Click the subscribe button, like, share the link, tune into channel 145 on your Go TV, and do not miss any of our segments from breakfast to Gossip Gala to Waste Prime Time to all the shows we have packed for you. So right now, we're going to be scanning the papers this morning. We have the Guardian, we have the Punch, and we have the Daily Trust. And goodness would lead us with the Daily Trust.
I like the way you usually call me as the first person. I usually feel so
likes
honored
to hype
and so
herself a
grateful.
lot. But
And of course, I'm always first in everything.
whatever
Take
makes you
that
sleep
in.
well at night. Take us to the Daily Trust.
Now let's look at the Daily Trust newspaper. Below the masthead, we have a first story that says, again, Tinubu meets service chiefs. And also beside that, we have no case to answer. Nnamdi Kanu tells court. Alongside, we have how Ekiti government clinched APC return ticket. And the Daily Trust leads boldly with an headline that says, PDP chairmanship, I'm being shut out, says Sule Lamido. Well, that's a long story, which we're going to be taking on later. And down the baseline, we have 10 headers killed, over 80 bandits neutralizing KB. We also have protests in Cameroon as Biya secures 8 temp. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful government. And also we have 15 rescued in Lagos, building collapse. And lastly, why $120 billion hydrocarbon resources not benefiting Africa. So now let's look at the leading story that leads with PDP chairmanship and being shut out. That says Sule Lamido. You know, Sule Lamido was actually campaigning to be part of the PDP running party, but he was turned down. So this, the crisis threatening to derail preparations, that's for the People's Democratic Party National Convention, deepened yesterday at as Sule Lamido, that's the former Jigawa State Governor, vowed to take legal action following his failed attempt to obtain the nomination form for the position of national chairman. And he said he has been shut out as he burst out amid growing discontent within the opposition party, you know, over the endorsement of the former Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, that's Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, as consensus candidate for the chairmanship ahead of the convention, which had been scheduled for November 15th and 16th in Ibadan, Oyo State. So the highlight of it is that, like he said, he has been shut out. He's been, they've refused him to pick the nomination ticket, and the House really had, or the party has picked Kabiru Tanimu over him. So,
well, I mean, that's what usually plays in politics. You cannot. The majority always carries the vote. If people do not want you do not get to be there. And this reminds me of the Jonathan's case as well, and how, you know, we've been hearing rumors of him wanting to come back in 2027, but then there are a lot of discouragements from different areas as well. And I'm wondering if he actually stands a chance. I mean, if this man...
But I just think this period is the time where we'll just be having, like, there will be quite a number of internal crises strike with these parties.
Yeah,
but it should still be a fair game for all of them. Let them compete.
It's not about who is competing, it's about even having the right people there. But let's see what you have
let's see
for the
what
Punch.
We have for the Punch newspaper. The screaming headline here, just like what Goodness finished taking us through. PDP consensus deal shatters as Lamido rejects Turaki. Riders to this story. Tension ahead of convention. Screening postponed indefinitely. Lamido heads to court. Turaki advances bid. This is a story you would find in page 2 of the Punch News. And above, we have 92-year-old Biya's 8th term win sparks protest in Cameroon. This is my story of interest. So
it has to be. It has to be, because it's also interesting me. And
very interesting. But let's just go through every other story that we have. Tinubu Obasanjo lead dignitaries to honor late Christopher Kolade. To see more details, check the page 8 of the Punch News. Natasha broke penal code in attacks on Akpabio. Bello. This is coming from AGF. It's another story you would also find in page 8 of the Punch News. And another interesting story that we have is that doctors are now demanding 38 billion naira. Doctors mobilized for Friday strike amid 38 billion naira unpaid allowances. I was saying it, I think 2 days ago, that the moment we are done with ASU, another association will come up.
But do you know 38 billion naira is a ridiculous amount?
A lot.
To all the healthcare workers. When I saw the news yesterday, we was going to talk about it today, but we needed a doctor, to help us really know what's going on inside. That is a ridiculous amount. How much have you owed these people over time?
It's not even that they are protesting for maybe increase my salary.
Yes.
What
Not in millions,
what you are owing
in billions.
Me. That's quite unfortunate. And another screaming headline here that is even like getting everyone talking is in respect to the collapsed Lagos building. Occupants ignored distress signs. I think somewhere in the Ebute Metta that happened. It's quite unfortunate. But let's get into my story of interest. 92-year-old Bia's 8th-term win sparks protest in Cameroon. See, this man is 92-year-old. Let's even first start with that.
He has really lived long.
He has really lived long. The Senate president that actually confirmed him as the president of Cameroon is 94 years old. I am wondering what is going on. In Ivory Coast, the person that won, as president presently now, this is his 4th term, 83 years old. You're now asking me that why is African the way African is? You can just see it. I was thinking about this. I was trying to look into their system of government, look into a whole lot of things, check into our government. And then in days like this, I am even grateful that Nigeria is still the way it is. At least you can even see a younger person contesting maybe with the president.
Contesting to get, let me tell you one thing about this younger, that have always annoyed me from the onset. You will see young people contest. And I feel like it's all about optics. Because it's as if it's already predestinated
that they are not going to get in.
That they are not getting there. So the contesting doesn't even move me like it used to before. Yes, the participation is looking like it's getting better. But how many of them actually get this office? And if they do, it is offices that are not exactly as significant when it comes to decision making in that sense, right? But this one has really, it has broken, that thing they say, the last straw.
The sad part of Cameroon government is that it's not like the Nigerian government where you have the federal state and then powers like fall into these different part of the government. They operate a very centralized system. So the power that is on the president is a lot more than what is on our president. So you cannot even compare. They cannot do so much. They cannot say so much.
I just see a nation that doesn't believe in their young and in the youth.
That's very bad. This one, even old, like, that when you talk about old, just like they come out to tell us that the poorest of the poor, there is the oldest of the old. What's 92?
Well, it doesn't really baffle me that much. Why? Because
this man, it doesn't baffle you. This man has been there for the past 43 years.
Yes, and this is his 8th-term election.
Do you know the number of presidents we've had in Nigeria in the past 43 years?
Well, it's accepted in governance. So we have a system of government like that where the old people rule. So
where the old people grow.
Yes.
I think we need to start changing. We should not we should not just get to a point where we accept any system because it has been playing. Well, it's not our country. If it was, I mean, this conversation would have changed.
Where we have 94, 92. I mean, it should be that probably their healthcare system should be doing well. For them to have lived that long.
It's not about whether they are healthy or
no, I'm just going to another
there,
direction, though. Yes.
Which you can also question because being old comes with certain diseases and certain health problems that healthcare system can't help you with. You cannot take that away.
To handle it.
And beyond that, 43 years, what have you been ruling? You know that unlike us, we're always coming here to complain about accountability. It is very easy for us. Over there, they don't have a system of checks and balance. It doesn't work that way.
This gives me the monarchical system of government. When a king is
such an authority, such a level of authority.
Before he lives there. So when the king is 150, he's still there.
Guess what? Once he gets in now, before he can leave again, is after 7 years. He's leaving 2032. That's if he's still alive.
So 790, that's 99.
That's 2032. Yes, that's like 99.
That would be a record break. What if we make it 100?
Do you know that I was reading the reports. They were saying that it's going to be the record breaking. By the time this tenure is over, that's going to be like maybe like one of the oldest presidents.
Guinness World Record is going to
I think at this point I'm interested in seeing how that turns out. But let me take you through the Guardian, and of course express my condolences on that collapsed building incident that happened. I did watch a video where one of the relatives of the deceased or someone who was injured collapsed, and he was being rushed for medical attention, and a lot of things just came to my mind at that point. This season is not one you want to associate yourself with, especially when there's bad news involved. So I really felt a lot of emotions for the person, and of course to anyone who was affected. And this is just a cry and a call to people who are involved in urban development and building houses. I want to get to the Guardian, but let me say this. Last weekend, my friend and I were commuting this particular road, and we were shocked to see 2 new houses erected. This place, why we were shocked is because this place doesn't even need any house again. And these houses were not a story building. It was stories in that sense. 5-story building. Was so tall. My question was, how is the foundation of this particular? These are things. I know that Lagos is already jam-packed, but I think it's even becoming worse. Urban development, urban planning, what are they doing at this point?
Chief, you would ask me that what really I want to talk about if we were not going to talk about this urban planning. By the time I was coming, along our route, I don't know if you noticed that they've demolished the whole place. All these. When you're coming down to our area, you find a lot of motor where they sell like cars and all of that. Yes. They demolished everything. So I was beginning to ask. Funny how that it was even the conductor when I was coming that just said that why are the governments, why can't they plan ahead? Why do you have to pull down structures, people's money, people's investments, just a whole lot of things, and then you're coming and then you just put everything down. So I don't really know.
My condolences, honestly. We cannot stretch this beyond this. Let's look at the Guardian. The major headline reads, this one is going to excite you, especially if you're planning to travel this December. Yay. It says Nigerian international travelers to pay extra. Is STA for you, goodness. To pay extra $11.5 charge per ticket from December 1. And I think that's about 16 or 17,000 naira. And I feel like this is still appetizer, because you don't really know what is about to happen in this December. Last year, we did see the disparity. People were paying 100 plus for flight tickets in January, from January till maybe October or August or September. And in December, it was triple, it was double.
Because they know that's when
exactly.
You have more people.
And yet, guess what? People still pay for this because Nigerians will enjoy themselves regardless.
Our land is rich.
Very interesting. Moving ahead from that, we see Oyebanji emerges APC's candidate for Ekiti gubernatorial polls. NARD insists on November 1st for strike, claims health workers owed 38 billion naira in 2 years. We spoke about this not long ago. ADC accuses Tinubu's government of manipulating food prices for political gains. Chairman and I really did speak about this yesterday as well. Bandit imposed 15 million levy on Tambuwa's constituents and threatens fresh attacks. New Afrexim Bank boss task African leaders on open borders trade. Kanu refuses to enter defense, claims no case against him. And the last story is on PDP. It says PDP in fresh crisis over chairmanship consensus deal ahead of convention. So we can see that many times the papers just gives us, a follow-up, basically everything happening in the nation. But inside the Guardian newspaper, inside of it, ladies and gentlemen, there's a very disturbing story about Nigerian children that are at the verge of, being exploited with the internet. And I think, let me just give you the data it says here. The Gatefield State of Online Harm in Nigeria reported unveiled yesterday has revealed that millions of Nigerian children are entering digital spaces without adequate protection, adding that 50% of internet users experience online harms regularly, while 90% of children face online risk. And of course, the data stretches it out to even talk about women and the harm that happens. And I think this is a call for people who are intentional about impact. When they tell you that if you really want to make impact in a society, look for the problem areas, look for things gaps to solve. And I feel like if anyone has been thinking of what can I do to be of, someone of impact in my environment, we can start with addressing this problem. Young people, millions of children are exposed to internet harm online, and that's because we do not have regulations in that sense with the
Regulations
digital
and
space.
exposing them way too early
Exactly.
to, the internet. That's like something, it also goes down to the parents, because we cannot talk about this and not like go to, parents watching over their words.
As I even wanted to add that even if you do regulation, will it really work in Nigeria? Because even when you want to browse online, there's a site that will tell you, are you above 16 and anything. So if you give access to your child, the child can click I'm above 16, whereas the child is not above 16.
That means you just have to tighten the regulation to make it actually work.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. It just means more work. And that's how I choose to see this. We'll take a short break. And when we come back, we're heading on to our hot topic, monogamy versus polygamy. The Nigerian debates rekindled by Ned Nwoko. And of course, it's going to be an exciting one. Please stay with us. We'll be right back soon.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we will bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back, our dearest viewers, to the #1 youthful breakfast show. Our topic today, our hot topic today, in case you're just joining us, because for the past 2 minutes, we've looked at different things across, the globe, especially our Nigerian newspapers. But today, we want to talk more about, something trending, and we've titled it Monogamy versus Polygamy, the Nigerian debate rekindled by Ned Nwoko. Over the weekend, Senator Ned Nwoko ignited a heated national conversation when he publicly defended polygamy and lamented the condition of men in monogamous marriages. He went so far as to say he feels sorry for men who have one wife, arguing that having multiple wives brings stability, balance, and fulfillment to the home. Nwoko further likened monogamy to standing on one leg, a task he contends is precarious and unsustainable. He grounded his argument partly in his faith, pointing to the Old Testament as endorsing polygamy, and stated that he would make the same marital choices again in future lives. While denying allegations of domestic violence, which has been on everyone's lips, he emphasized his respect and love for his wives and children. This position comes amid public scrutiny of his marital life and the broader tensions around tradition, faith, gender equity, and modern relationship norms in Nigeria. The debate cuts the heart of how we define marriage, power, individual rights, and cultural continuity in a rapidly changing society. As women anchoring this conversation, that's all Goodness, Triumph, and of course myself, we have a powerful vantage point to interrogate these claims, not from the margins, but as equal participants in the discussion. Of course, I will be bringing this to my ladies. I'm sure you are shocked. Oluchi, why did you bring such a conversation on this lovely day? We're going to talk about something more serious, but, our Tuesday segments tend to highlight social cultural problems in that sense, and just try to understand how people think, why they think, how it affects us, and why we are where we are today. And of course, you know me, any public statement from a public figure always has my ears standing. Watching this video or reading the comments, the posts, I think, on Ned Nwoko's interview on Channels Television, I think, with Shehu, and coming out to say that he pities men who have one wife. saying that they are standing on one leg. I mean, I have never seen I've never seen any bolder statement. This year, I have seen a lot of bold statements, but it comes even at a very wrong timing. You know why I would say it's wrong timing? Because the internet has not even sorted. It has not gone away from what has happened in your own marriage with the popular actress Regina Daniels, right? We saw online where people came out to allegedly say that probably she was in an abusive marriage and all. We do not really have the proof of all of that. But then how conveniently is it that the next statement that comes out of your mouth, even though, of course, you did address the abuse and all, is that monogamy is not the best bet. Monogamy cannot assure stability and all of that. So my first question is, why do you think Nwoko describes polygamy as a balance or stability? Is it a definition we should start holding on to? Is it that we should start putting side by side stability and polygamy? What do you guys have to say?
It is so interesting that this is coming from Ned Nwoko. I'm wondering that
His Excellency.
His Excellency, all grace,
Honorable Minister.
Honorable Minister. Because I am wondering what a bold statement, like you said, coming from somebody that you are yet to seemingly put your house in order. From what you brought out to us, you are yet to be able to put your house in order, and you are coming out to advise people that they are just, not that they are just trying, but people that, you know, they believe in the fact that it's just me and my wife and all of that, and then you're coming out to say that no. When we look at the broader perspective of it, I was looking at the comment section and I was saying something like that maybe the reason why we don't even have more polygamous homes is because people do not have money. Because if it's like you have money now, maybe all these ministers and all of that, maybe if they had more money, like Ned Nwoko, they are going to take a number of wives. This is a sad thing. There is no how we should promote.
So are we saying multiplying wives is now implying multiplying stability? Like, are we saying monogamous people? Because I want to try to understand this whole monogamy and polygamy. The last time I had to revisit conversations like this was in secondary school. Social studies, types of family. And then everybody thought monogamy was simply the best. But coming out to say something like this and looking through that comment section, are we saying that multiplying wives equates multiplying stability and emotional support? Because since we see the divorce rate in the nation, across the world generally, maybe one wife cannot give you this peace and joy that you so desire. So if you had 7, 8, 5, then your stability can be further guaranteed. Is that what we are going with?
I was listening to the interview. By the time I was hearing that, he said, you know, if you're standing on one leg, you will not be balanced. Then I'm wondering that, then he's not saying that standing on 4 legs. Then I'm wondering that, Ned, if I'm standing on 4 legs, will you still be here? If you see me on 4 legs, will you still wait?
Yeah.
Well,
let me hear what Goodness has to say.
So I want to say, first of all, I think we need to look at an individual's ideal relationship structure.
Okay.
So
I
that
like
really
the English you
matters.
brought.
All right. So first, you need to look at it. Yes, we have different types of marriages. And he has come out to say that he is soliciting for polygamous marriage. I will put it that because he supports that. Now, let's look at this because while you were talking, I was trying to see reasons from you. You know me, I like
the devil's advocate every single time, and I like the role you play.
Okay. So the funniest thing is, I was observing and I was meditating on it. Now, his speech on in the channel station when he was having with Shay, I feel his statements were more of metaphorical. Down just on the surface level. So it has a deeper meaning. So when you make mention of one leg, right, and comparing it to having 4 legs, there's this story, Animal Farm by George Orwell. Sorry, I'm going to put in a little bit of literature into it now. So in that story, we have several animals. Some are walking on 2 legs, some are walking on 4 legs. And same story, we have the pigs ruling. And it was just a simulation of what had happened in the country. I don't know why. You are tired of it. So I just need to break down.
Let Goodness land at this point. Go
so
ahead.
When you look at it, we had some animals that were even claiming at the beginning that, oh, all animals are equal. In the long run, we found out that it was now even the pigs. And you know, pigs normally, they walk on 4 legs, right? They were the ones ruling. They were the one that made that statement, but they were the one also giving that distinction. Sorry, I don't know why she's still making me to laugh. I beg your pardon. So just don't put so much focus on trying on this one, because me, I like bringing some different perspectives.
And I love to hear it.
Now, when you look at it, when he made mention of one leg, right, and he said, if you have other 4 legs, there's this statement. Not that maybe I'm supporting him, but I'm just trying to shed more light now. They'll say 2 heads are better than 1, right? We usually say that. Now, if you're doing something together, when you involve people to do it, you get it done quicker, right? You achieve a lot when you involve other people than doing something alone. There's always that state where, so that could also be part of his psychological thinking. That's why I say it depends on the ideal relationship structure. So for him, I feel when he made that statement of standing on 4 legs, it did not literally mean 4 legs per se. So the deeper meaning there is that there are several reasons why people...
The deeper meaning you think.
Okay,
because
I think.
You are the one implying what
Okay, I'm implying,
imply.
yes. The deeper meaning, I think, is that involving in several marriages could be that is this kind of person that in a relationship life, he finds assurance, love, when love is being shared among multiple people. That's why I said talking about relationship structure. And at the same time, there are also several reasons why a person will marry more than one spouse, right? It could be probably to get, like I said, when you bring 2 or more people into your work, you achieve things fast and you achieve it greatly because different ideas are coming to it. So probably for me, is reasons why marrying involving so many wives. It could be when you channel so many, intellectual minds, let me use that word, together. And remember, he is a senator in our country, so very funny. Getting ideas from women. Women's wisdom are very powerful, trust me. Yes.
Wow.
So it could
And
also be
their
from that
complexion also
light.
contributes to
No,
the
aside
family.
the complexion, I'm not even talking about the complexion. I'm talking about their intellectual wit. We already know that women's words are very powerful. So when a woman tells you something or a woman tells you something, just hold that word very dear.
So if I'm getting
if
you
it's
very
having
correctly,
4 people, yes.
I'm getting you very correctly, goodness, the more
For
better.
Ned Nwoko's marriage.
Yeah, and
Yes,
also
for
trying
him.
to look at the deeper, like
So-
she has
yes,
been saying,
meaning.
implications of this is that the more, the merrier.
The more the stability.
And also
more the
it's getting, I
stability.
think that's why I even talked about stability. Stability could not be probably romantic or whatever. It could be in form of his politics.
Interesting.
Women have, I'm sorry to say this, but women know how to simulate into the system well. So it could be, you can never tell, maybe even the women, I'm just saying allegedly, probably the women are also supporting him in his politics, helping him to, get access to things easily. So you could
Interesting.
tell about that.
Honestly, you're not entirely wrong because that is a perspective that we cannot deny. It does not mean that we totally accept it, but it's something that is on the table, right? But I like to look at the implication of statement like this because if we're talking of stability, right, in marriage, are we looking at just one angle to it? Because at the end of the day, marriage is supposed to be something that involves unity. It's not centered on one person, right? So I'm looking at the patriarchal tone to this kind of conversation. Because when we even talk about different kinds of marriages as well, we hear, there's one, I think our social studies teacher told us about, is it polyandry or monoandry, where the woman is the one who has multiple husbands, right? And if I'm going to go with what you're saying, goodness, I can say the woman is also looking for stability, looking for multiple forms of stability
That's why I
as
said
well.
there are different ideal structure. I've known a particular story very dear to me, which I don't want to make mention of the name. Or to even say more, related to my extended family, where a mother married more than one husband. And what was the reason behind it? To amass resources from them. Marry this particular man because he's rich, marry this other particular man because he's rich, in order to just get their wealth.
But you know that culturally, that is not the most popular thing that you hear. Culturally, what is even ticked as the ideal is the polygamy and not the polyandry. In fact, just in marriage, when you hear that, there's somebody that we were having a discussion with one time. In marriage, if you hear that it's the man that cheated, right? It's always like, men are like that. Yeah. Just let it go and let it pass. But if it's the woman, it has more implication because she's seen as someone that has done the most.
A prostitute.
Exactly. So I'm like, if we are going to endorse something, it's not like this is supposed to be something to be endorsed. It's just a conversation we're having. But if something is supposed to be the ideal, what is the implication for the woman? as well, if we're talking emotional stability, are we looking across board? Are we saying that just the way you are married to multiple wives, I can also choose to have multiple husbands, and then we'll put a timetable on how we'll be visiting all ourselves together, because it's just going to scream chaos
But you know
at the end of the day.
that one, the society affects that. Because
So the
if
society doesn't affect polygamy, but it affects
when
polyandry.
yes.
It's
For
not
me,
even accepted
not maybe
culturally.
not that maybe you can't a woman can't go ahead to marry more than one husband, but
Can she
because
do it
of
when
the
she's
society,
married?
Does
that's
not
what I'm
even
saying, that
accept
because
it.
of the society will frown at it. Normally, the society always finds its way to subjugate women, right? So if a woman is indulging such thing, obviously it's going to frown at it, and that's why it seems to be that women don't indulge in it, and probably the rate at which women do polyandry is very, very minute, very small compared to the opposite gender, where the society totally in a way still finds its way tolerating such attitude and habit. Me, I'm not saying I support polyandry. Of course, I support one man, one wife, but I'm just trying to, like, you know, when a particular person comes out old word, everybody can watch it wherever they are, to make such statements. I think we should also look at the deeper meaning from where it's coming from. And again, if you look at things, I feel that it gives a more positive than the negative. And that's why you can boldly say that, oh, it supports women, men rather, to indulge in.
We have to take a short break at this point, because I want to say something. I want to just calm down. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll open up this conversation to look at more implication to this statement or the debate that comes from the word monogamy versus polygamy. So please stay with us. We'll be right back soon.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Welcome back, viewers. Trust me, it's been a heated one behind the scene, and that's what happens when we go on a short break. We've been talking about this recent trendy comment from Nwoko, where he says that monogamy is not something he envies. I'm trying to rephrase it at this point, because polygamy somehow, ensures stability. And of course, Goodness has been playing the devil's advocate here, because she has been trying to say and give different metaphorical implication to that statement, meaning that if we look at it intently, there is some truth to see to it. And I'm telling her and say to everyone that is on our own stance that we cannot deny that perspective, because we have to put it on the table as well. The only problem I have to conversations like this is when it is not balanced, in the sense that if we endorse this polygamy-wise, right, why don't we see much endorsement in the other area? Because to see a balanced ideology is one that plays across board, meaning that the man is accepting, the woman is accepting. But I can assure you that someone If I was going to ask Mr. Nwoko, I would ask him that, okay, yes, you say polygamy helps to ensure stability, and that's from your own point of view. Would you also be okay if your wives had different husbands as well to ensure stability for them, should you not be capable to provide the stability when they need?
Funny how that is not even going to be accepted.
Right.
I am sure that my
Because
honorable minister...
polygamy is a patriarchal thing.
That is
I'm
why...
going to agree with
you
that.
know that when Goodness was talking about polyandry, it makes a lot of sense. It's one of the types of marriages that we have. But she also mentioned the fact that the kind of society that we live in is not going to accept that. And that is the same thing that is going to play out in his family. Take a look at somewhere like, maybe like Ned Nwoko's family, for example. When we talk about the stability, when we talk about the balance, when we talk about even the responsibility, the role of a family, a man, a woman, the father, the mother, where everybody is coming together to make something happen for the family, for the children. It is when you get to that point that you begin to have questions. Take a look at the person that is talking. Do you know the number of times? It is not just maybe with the last wife or the last wife. That's not the only time that he has had, like, I think there was another wife that came out with a claim one time about the fact that, about what she is experiencing in marriage. And if you have, and this is one of the things that gets me really, really angry, is the fact that we have the internet, we have social media, where everybody can just come out to feel like I can set the standard for other people.
Thank you for that. Thank you
No,
for that.
it doesn't work that way. If it has worked for you, which is not even looking like that, I am sorry that I am not so sorry to say this. It is not even looking like that, because if you're saying it's looking like that, I was watching the video. You remember when the whole incident happened with, Regina Daniels and all of that? I was watching the video. One of the things that I was thinking about was the son that was, telling Regina Daniels, she should be calm in the video. I was thinking about what is going on in the mind, what kind of ideology, what kind of standard, what kind of experience, what kind of teaching, these are the things that I am thinking about. But the whole place is not even going well. And it doesn't also maybe limit the fact that maybe if there is a problem in marriage, maybe it's just happening with a polygamous family. We see, even in when it's just like one person, one man, one woman, people are having issues in marriage. That is a whole lot. We're having serious divorce cases happening. I was still saying, one particular couple online, they just got married. They've not done their 1-year anniversary. They divorced already. Yesterday was a very serious day for me, where I had to be dealing with people that they had relationship issues. It's not even my own issue.
Were you the counselor in this
But
case?
I just had to be there to be listening, because people are going through a lot. Now imagine that you're having to deal with that with plenty wives.
Yes.
With different problems. So I don't think
And
that
then
when
you
you
come
talk,
out to say that there is stability
let's
for
question
you.
what the definition of stability is. Is stability when my desires are satisfied? Is that what we are calling the definition of stability? So it's just a whole lot to open up.
Goodness, you have something to say. But before you say what you have to say, I think I will just hold on to that statement you brought out. We should be careful with people who set the standards for us, because on social media right now, I feel like some people do not have, that sensitivity to judge things anymore. They just pick up a standard and take it as theirs because someone of reputable standard did say. But I think one way to judge, standards is look at it. Has it worked for that person? Is it working for that person? Even if it looks like it's working, you know that social media always is not the real entire truth in that sense. But I really love that perspective, and I wanted to just highlight that. Let me hear Goodness.
Okay, so I wanted to make mention of something. You made mention of talking about his marriage with Regina Daniels, if it's not working. Now we're drawing...
No, not just Regina Daniels.
Okay, generally, right? So I'm trying to draw an instance from it now.
All right.
Those women, let me use the word women, he got married to, they aren't blind that he has more than one wife. But he still chose to go into the relationship, into getting married to him. Yes, it wasn't that he forced them into it, right? So even in their whole mind, they also agree to such kind of relationship. You can't tell me that, oh, I don't agree to such relationship, and this is the man you are aware of his kind of relationship lifestyle, and you still choose to be probably his 4th wife or his 3rd wife. So in a way, indirectly, you also support you also support the polygamous marriage system structure and everything. And also, for all of them joining in, there's always a purpose of getting married. when you're trying to come together to form one, but in his own stance, it's not forming one. Now it's forming multiple, right? So when you're coming together to form a relationship, a bond, I feel in his own case, like he said, that there's stability and there could be other reasons, right? That's given him the positive aspect of it. He has seen the positive or the greener side of it. Now, there could be a basic reason for why even the women chose to be with him. Trust me, they are not just there probably because of emotional stability. Some of them are not just with him because of emotional. Some of them are with him because of so many other reasons that they want to get from him.
But you're not saying it. It's at the tip of your tongue, but it's not just coming out.
That's just it. So you can't just say
Moving away
that.
from that, thank you for your different point of views to this conversation. But let's even talk about the emotional and practical realities of polygamy, because we cannot deny the fact that if you look at ancient times, this was the marriage that was endorsed. I even like what Nwoko said. You know, when people want to really hit their point and then they give you scriptural backings to it. I think he had to bring some religious, backings to it from the Old Testament, something that people always misinterpret a number of times. But let's leave that discussion for another time. But let's even look at the practicality of polygamy, like the emotional realities of it. What do people really go through? And my own question, because I'm a woman's... Yes, I'm a woman's advocate. Do you think that equality is actually possible to achieve even in polygamy? Let's say that we can't throw away culture. This is still embedded in the culture, even in some religions that people practice in Nigeria. So if this is going to now be a standard to some people, can we still see equality being achieved? And what are the real practical realities of these people that don't really get to the limelight?
Goodness rightly said when she mentioned the fact that, see, these people, you walked in yourself. Nobody forced you to get into it. But it might not be like that for some. Let's put in a polygamous home now, the first wife. I am sure that for some people, for some wives...
Did you grow up in a polygamous home?
No, I did not.
Goodness, did you?
I did not.
Yes.
But while I grew up, right?
Okay.
While I grew, when I was growing up, I grew up in like an environment. It's not like Lagos here, where by the time you're looking at the next neighbor, most likely having 2 wives and all of that. So all of them walked into it. Some of them, they don't. That's why I said that we cannot judge based on that we are here. Some people don't find anything wrong with it. In fact, when we talk about maybe religion, for some religion, it is quite okay. And it is fine. It is totally okay. But when we look at the practical aspect of it, honestly, for some people, it worked. It worked. You would see things like... It worked for some people. While for some, I was giving you an instance where...
what do you define worked? Like, I want to understand what
worked.
that worked
is. The marriage worked when it comes to like the raising. It did not happen with all families, like I said. But you would see instances where...
I'm asking you that if we say a polygamous family has worked, what will be the... What's it called? What will you use to judge? What's the metrics to judging a polygamous home that has worked?
I think I can.
For monogamy,
Okay, since you're coming from experience, from direct experience.
Okay, so first of all, my grandparents from polygamous, from many wives, right?
Many of us have grandparents. I don't think there's a grandparents in our time
that they have multiple wives.
7 wives.
But in a way, a little bit affected, like, let's say, upbringing and everything.
Yes.
Now, so I want to say something. When you talked about equality and if it had worked, right? If there's going to be a balance with it. So one thing I'll first put out there is, what is your expectation? If, as a lady, I'm getting married to a man that I know that he has several wives, obviously I have an expectation. It could be emotional, it could be a physical need, it could be a financial need. So let's just imagine that all the 4 wives of Nwoko, each of them have certain expectation which Ned is fulfilling. That's equality for them. Yes, that's equality for them, because you are already giving me what I'm expecting from you. You are giving the other women what they are expecting from you. There are not going to be differences. So there is, in a way, I would say like that's equality because you've balanced everything. Right. So expectation matters when you're entering into a relationship among more people.
And it's even also certified. Don't come and complain that something is not
so
going on.
It could be that my own need is not just emotional. My own need could just be physical needs. As a lady, let's say peradventure, I'm not his third wife. Let's just say my own is probably like physical needs. And you're giving me, I'm okay. I'm satisfied with you. You are even the best husband in the whole world.
See, I was going to mention that.
That's just it.
Just like you said, you know, you're coming into a relationship, you have an expectation and all of that. But it's not like that for the first wife in most polygamous homes. Because some of them did not come into that marriage with the plan that another person will be taken in, or maybe like 4 other persons will be taken in. So sometimes it gets on, or the effect is like, on this particular person, there's this Yoruba adage, I'm trying to look for how to say it in English, that the same thing that, you know, like it even happens like generally, that the point you're bringing in the new wife, the attention is like shifted away from the first wife. So my own bone of where the inequality happens is that it doesn't happen with the first wife. The first wife will not have the same opinion that we are all having here about equality.
Okay, let me just interject what she said concerning the first wife not having the same reality. Now, during the interview, it made mention of, it was asking Sheung Okinbaloye that, okay, you have one wife, but I'm sure you have other girlfriends. So when he got married to the first wife, I'm sure that wife knows that he has other girlfriends, which was not a wife yet. You get? Obviously, you're going to know of his miscellaneous, let me use that word, miscellaneous relationship type. So if you are coming in as a first wife, you already know that there's not how he does not have side chicks.
But I'm not even saying about
we just have to wrap up this discussion at this point, because there are a number of things to look at, because we even have to try to understand how society views women that enter into polygamous home. There's already the eyes of you don't want better for yourself. And we cannot take away the fact that polygamy is key, and it is at the center of customary law in Nigeria.
Yeah, it is
However, it is at loggerheads in that point with the civil law, because civil law is one man, one wife. When you go for court wedding, they are not expecting you to bring another person for another court wedding. So I'm wondering if there will ever be a time where we will see a balance between customary law and the civil law that we practice in Nigeria. Because if eventually standards like this from a political leader, from someone of authority, now becomes mainstream, you know, we're going to have a lot of problem with our laws, because imagine one law is stating this, another is stating that. And I really think beyond monogamy and polygamy, we still have that divide with customary law and civil law. That is what tradition agrees, what tradition accepts, then what the law seems to approve and accept as well. And of course, talking about how women and people, the society view women. I was speaking to Chinelo behind the scene, and I'm like, before Regina Daniel, she's 25, a very young lady. She can be on this table and have this discussion with us. I mean, we're all young people here. Before she got into that marriage, in fact, even when she was in that marriage, she has to be one of the persons that have received the most backlash in marriages. Why? Because people view women who get into polygamous homes on purpose as people who do not even understand their worth. So there's already a way the society views you. That's why when this problem came in her marriage, you notice that she didn't have a lot of supporters, because
after that, we saw her in a video now enjoying herself,
even
the tattoo to show that even she and the other wives, they're all in agreement in comfort like that. So.
Yeah, so we have to end the conversation at this point, but it's been very interesting. There's really no yes or no to this conversation, because it is like richly how do I put
own
it?
School of thought.
Do what you have learned. Do what you have seen that has worked.
Exactly. If you're going with the customary law, uphold it. If you're going with the civil law, uphold it. And like goodness said, you should know your expectation before you get into any. So whatever you meet is what you are prepared for. Many hold that monogamy is the ideal for emotional intimacy and exclusivity, but is monogamy always more demanding, or is it simply a compromise under constraint? And that's the lessons, the question rather, that I'll be throwing to our viewers today. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you for being part of this conversation. And of course, we're going to have another exciting one with you again tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. You do not want to miss it. Stay sharp.